You may have noticed in some of my previous videos that my mountain bike was hung off the ceiling of the garage using a couple of these hooks. Once I did the storage shelves, now the bike couldn't be hung up that way anymore, so it went on the floor, and we got 2 more bicycles from my in-laws. So now we have 3 bicycles at the house, just taking up space in the garage. Because I don't want my garage to look like a bicycle shop, I really am focused on trying to get it emptied out so that I can have 2 cars in there. I need to be able to hang these bikes, but I'm not going to be able to hang them all upside down by their wheels. It's really prohibitive with the space that I have to do it that way. And at some point they're going to also take up headroom. I'm a fairly tall person, so I can't have bikes hanging just anywhere and really being in a position where they're going to hit me in the head. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to take these hooks that I was using before, and I'm going to modify them so that I can mount the bicycles to the wall. So what I did is I got some spare steel stock. So with these 2 pieces, what I'm thinking of doing is first, I'll place the hooks through them, right? So kind of like that. Okay. I'll weld the hooks in from the back so that they can't come apart. I'll obviously cut off this excess. So the holes on this will allow you to put in a couple screws into the stud on the wall. And this all is actually before then going to be welded together. Right? And the idea is you mount this to the wall. Then I'll have some angle iron. It's odd to call it angle iron when I know the one I have is made out of aluminum, but basically some angular metal stock, right? And I'll have that basically spread apart at the same distance as the tires. So I'll mount the bike up onto that angular metal first, right? I'll rest the tires on there. Then I'll slide the pedal on that side in between these 2 hooks and turn it sideways. So then once it's sideways, it can't fall this way, and that will allow me to hold my bicycle up against the wall. And with that, I should be able to hang up a couple of bicycles in a fairly small space in a way that won't take up too much in the way of headroom, plus will leave the floor completely open for me to put in cars. This rubber coating won't survive the weld process, and I need to cut off these threaded ends. So I'm going to cut this about here and remove the rubber. This way.
Now that I stripped off the coating, I'm also going to go ahead and wipe this down with acetone, and I'll do the same for all of the parts. The main reason for this being that it will remove any sort of grease or adhesive that's left on here. Just really to clean this stuff up so that it welds nice. Do the same here. Just making sure to have nice clean surfaces when we're going to be welding. Alright, so in order to get these hooks to line up the way I want them to, I'm going to clamp them together using just like a piece of wood. Make some slight adjustment. And that's about right. Let's clamp the ground from the welder on here. Actually, let's clamp it on this side. Doesn't have to be perfect, just a quick little tack to hold it in place. Other one on the other side. I don't suppose it's going to go anywhere, so I'm going to go ahead and flip this around, unclamp it now. Alright, that's in real nice. That ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Overdid it there, but I think that's good. It's nice and solid anyway. I don't think that's going anywhere ever. Now I'm going to come back in with the angle grinder and just flatten that face off. here we'll do another quick wipe down with acetone. Just to make sure everything's nice and clean. There's plenty of filth on here. That penetrated. Venga. So now that it's all welded nice and solid, I'm just going to go ahead and use the angle grinder to clean off the slag. Not very good welds. I probably could have cleaned this surfaces a lot more. These had developed rust since I scraped them, so maybe I should have given them some more scraping. And also, it would help if I had a fancier welder, right? This is flux core from Northern, so it's probably not the best quality either. But it gets the job done, and that is rock solid, so I'm happy with that for now. Once I grind it and paint it, it'll look alright. With the part ground down, the only thing left to do is to give it a coat of spray paint. start off with a light coat. I'll let that dry out and then I'll come back and give it a heavier coat.